Welcome to Wildspire. You get to be a fly on the wall for my intimate conversations with entrepreneurs who are changing the world. I'm your host, Stephanie Benedetto, coach, storyteller, and unmarketer at The Awakened Business, helping coaches and change-making entrepreneurs unleash their inspired message and share it with playful unmarketing. I'll ask curious questions and explore uncharted waters with my guest today. Anything can happen when we step into the unknown of infinite creativity, and that's where we're going to play. My guest today, Dr. Eboni Truss, had me smiling and laughing from the very first moment that we met. Now, what I didn't expect was how deep our conversation would actually go. We talked about the masks that we wear and the roles that we perform, and what happens when one day we wake up and realize that we've built a life or a business that no longer feels like ours. Eboni shares her personal journey of chasing success and following the advice that the experts were giving her to rediscovering her own voice, her message, in what she calls her path of unbecoming. We talk about authenticity, purpose, abundance, entrepreneurship, and the freedom that's available when you stop trying to be someone else and finally allow yourself to be who you really are. Dr. Eboni Truss is a woman of purpose, passion, and a global voice of knowledge and wisdom, especially in the marketplace. Her teaching and training empower leaders to rediscover what they were born to say and do so they can show up in the world powerfully, purposefully, and productively. She's the author of 2 transformative books, an international speaker, and a best-selling author. Most importantly, she is the wife to James and a mom to 2 amazing sons. It's my pleasure to introduce you to Eboni. Hello there, Eboni. Welcome to the Wildspire podcast. I'm really excited to have you here.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you, Steph. I appreciate it. We're gonna have a good time.
So I just started smiling and laughing when we first met on Zoom. And it was just so lovely and such a fun experience that it only seems natural to have you back here to introduce you to more people in my community. So I'm very excited to do that. What does your sweater say today?
It says, I vibe heavy with God.
Oh,
Yes.
that's so cool.
Yes.
Vibe heavy. Very
Yes.
cool.
Yes.
So right behind your head, if someone's watching the video, they can see it. It says unbecoming.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean to you?
Okay, so Unbecoming is my mission, my message, and my mantle. Unbecoming is all about going back to the place of being who we were born being, saying what we were born to say, doing the things that we were born to do before we were told by just about every aspect of society that we needed to become something else because we weren't already inherently good enough. So in a nutshell, that's what unbecoming is all about: taking off the masks, releasing ourselves from the pressure of performance and perfection, and simply being.
What was it that inspired you to be so passionate about unbecoming and helping people to do that, to take off the masks?
My own story, my own journey, right? So there's a lot that plays into it. I will talk specifically about business in a business aspect. And so I've always been very entrepreneurial my entire life. My first business, I was 6, I had a lemonade stand outside my grandmother's house. And fast forward, I get into, self-development, leadership development, that kind of thing, hosting workshops, training, and that kind of thing, speaking. And I was essentially doing it for free. People would come ask me, I would go do it. And I would watch, like the people on the internet. out here doing the thing, and I'm saying that's for them, never really realizing that I could actually do this as a business and people would pay me for it. So fast forward, I jump into it and I figure, all the people I've been watching online, they must know what they're talking about. So I start following all the gurus, all the coaches. And when I first launched out in all my beautiful naivety, I was teaching people how to rediscover their purpose and then monetize it if they so chose to do that, right? But ultimately, the rediscovery of purpose. And I started, hiring coaches and going to all the events and doing all the things. And, I had coaches say, well, this is what's actually selling. So, like, you should switch to this. Or what are people asking you for? What are they admiring you for? And slowly but surely, Steph, I started moving away from the original intent of my business until suddenly I sounded just like my coaches. I marketed just like the gurus. Like I had become like the people I was following. And I had gotten away from what had been put in my heart to do. And so I was a part of yet another coaching program, and I was preparing for the group session, and I'm sitting with all the stuff. And what gets uploaded to me is like, you have entered this space of becoming. What was the original message? What was the original heart behind your business? What was the original intent for why you wanted to work with people and help people and teach and share and train and speak? What happened to all of that? And I was dumbfounded. Like, wow, because in that I hadn't realized in the 4 or 5 years prior that I had like lost it essentially. And so in that moment, I was like, all right, this has got to change. It's got to, I got to be me. I was wearing stilettos. My back is not in agreement with that. Like my back gets no, I was dressing how I thought I should dress. I was using lingo that I thought I should use. I was all the things, Steph. And so that was August of 2020. And I made the decision that day. No, I'm going back. Let me retrace my steps. Let me figure out. So I decided to unsubscribe from everybody and everything. I don't want another email from none of y'all. I need some time to process and hear my own voice for a change, because I hadn't heard my own voice in so long. And I did that. I detoxed. I called it a business detox. I detoxed from all the stuff and spent time with just myself, with God, and the vision that I had for my business. And ultimately, I called that process unbecoming. And at first, I thought it was just in a business context. But then over time, what I started realizing was like, no, unbecoming is a conversation for every part of life, because we're told in various other areas, other spheres, right, that we're not enough. Think about every perfume commercial you've ever watched, or if you've ever, been up late at night. I don't even know if they still come on, but infomercials used to be popular, especially weight, like exercise equipment ones. If you just get this Thigh Master, you're going to have the perfect body in 2 days. We watch television shows and we're like, I need to be that kind of wife or that kind of husband, or whatever the case may be. And we come here knowing, I believe that we come here knowing, we come here whole, we come here abundant and complete. But by the time society and culture gets done with us, We're wondering why we're even here in the first place. And so my life's mission, what I am called to do, is to help people to understand, here's where I am, and I get to reverse this air quote curse and go back to the original intent for my life, my purpose for my life, for my business, and I get to live from that place. Did I answer your question? I realize that I may not have. I go off on tangent stuff, so you're gonna have to stop me.
I think that was good. I was liking that
Okay.
tangent.
Okay.
Yes, you answered my question.
Okay, good stuff.
So I would love to hear more about your mission. Like, what do you really want people to know is available for them in taking all those masks off and letting go of all the things that they've been told they should be?
Oh, what do I want them to know? What do I want them to know? Um, so what I understand, very fortunately, is that dichotomy between the outer life and the inner life. So the wonderful individuals I get to encounter, have conversation with, work with, call my clients, my people, my folks, they have this successful life, right? People admire them, people envy them. They have all the trappings of it looks good, right? They have all the KPIs, all the metrics of it looks good on the outside. And yet they are still working to make peace with the person that they look at in the mirror every day, right? Their lives are just whoop, 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 right? But at the same time, I saw there was a post or something that I saw once that said something to the like, those who have climbed the ladder, whether it be the corporate ladder or the business ladder, doesn't matter. Those who have climbed the ladder, have you ever had a moment where you thought, wait a minute, maybe this ladder is leaning up against the wrong wall? But anyway, those are the people who I'm called to, because it's like, okay, I'm in this place. I have this stuff. This is the life that I thought I wanted, but I really don't. It's really not what I wanted, actually. But I'm in it now. And these people are high achievers, right? We're high achievers, high performers. And it's very hard to say, oops, I messed up. That's hard. To like say it to people? Oh no. Uh-uh. I would I would rather braid water than say, you know, than say, oh my gosh, I messed up, right? So now I'm waking up realizing, they're waking up realizing I'm inside somebody else's dream for me. Wherever that came from, doesn't matter. I'm living inside someone else's dream for me that I thought was my dream. And it's not. Now, what do I do without totally destroying everything that I have and that I've built or that I've created? Or it may not even be like that big of a situation. It may just be, you know what, I've been in this business for 3 years and I don't even feel like doing this anymore. I hate it. Like, it's not the business that I wanted to build. It's working, yes. And yet I'm not working inside of it. What I want for them to know is, first of all, it's not too late. The fact that you have that awareness is a blessing. Like, that's the first knock at the door, like, hey, hey, and so to be aware, to be cognizant of that knock at the door is a blessing. Just open the door and answer the knock, answer the call. Because what I get to do is walk people through the deeper work of alignment, how to stop exchanging their values for the external wins, right? How to stop pretending like you're proud of yourself in front of the audience, yet behind closed doors, you pretty much hate the person that you've become, right? That's who I'm for the people who have become something that they did not mean to become, because it's not too late. And I think that's the biggest thing. It's not too late. Just because you're here now doesn't mean that you have to suffer, because that's what it winds up being, a life of suffering for the external glory. Oh no. Mm-mm. No, we don't have to do that.
Mm. I heard this expressed by a colleague of mine who was quoting, oh goodness, I've forgotten who he's quoting now. It'll probably come to me again.
Mm-hmm.
But he was talking about, you were born with this music inside of you
Mm.
that's meant to come out.
Yes,
And are you going to die with it still inside of you? Or
man.
are you going to discover what that is, the music in you, and sing it and perform it
Yes,
and let it be
I
that?
love
Yeah.
that's beautiful. That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
So the way you describe it, Ebony, is you even called it such, I think you called it a calling,
Mm-hmm.
which sounds more, this is my business and this is my jam. This is what I do. Like it's actually in your heart
It is.
to serve these people in particular.
Yes.
What do you love most about it?
They're my people. They because it's to see them, to engage with them, to have conversation with them. It's like talking to a past version of myself. And I know the knot that's on the inside, the knot that's there, the entanglement, if you will, that's there. And the mental exhaustion and the emotional fight that it is just to get up every day to prep yourself to play this role yet again, right? Because you think that's what you have to do. And so it's oh, to to talk to them is like having the opportunity to throw the buoy out to them in the same way that I wished someone would have given me permission to be rescued, rather than be the way I was encouraged to stay in the grind of the lie. I wanted for somebody to give me permission to be authentic, but I was told that authenticity doesn't sell. But to actually say, this is me, and allow myself to be chosen as me, allow myself to be chosen just for who I am and what I am, not finding identity in my ability and what I could do, but being safe and just being. I wish that somebody would have given me that permission. And so now I get to do that for other people. I get to let them know you are not what you do, because we tie our worth to our achievement. in our ability. So yeah, it's truly a love. It's more than a passion. I love these people. I love them with all my with all my heart and soul. I love them. Yes. And for some of them, that's really all it is. Just need some love. Yeah. That's really all it is.
Something came up in conversation for me yesterday about love. We were talking about this person's message
Mhm.
and the offering in their heart.
Mhm.
And I actually led them in a visualization to see the
Yes.
offering in your heart. And so something appeared to her. And when I asked her what it was afterward, she said, I didn't like it. I didn't like it because the offering was healing with love.
Mm.
And she said, but that's too soft. Like it was the thing she was trying not to be, you know? And I was sitting with that because I think all of us have some, to some degree or another, some more, some less, taken on this crap about how we're supposed to show up, what we're supposed to be, what we need to do to be successful. We have
Mhm.
made it up and then didn't realize that we made it up from whoever, whatever messages we soaked in from our
Mhm.
childhood and our parents and our teachers and our role models.
Absolutely.
And one of the big ones that I think a lot of us, those of us who are heart centered in what we do, have somehow bought into this idea that like love is too soft and nobody's going to take it seriously. And
Mhm.
it is the most powerful force in the whole universe.
Yes.
And it is just, the power of sitting across from Ebony and having her love on me and say, hey, bring out what's inside of you.
Come on,
Like that's
girl.
all we need. It is the juice of life,
Yes.
right?
Woo! Don't tip me with a good time, Steph. Girl, yes. Oh, I have chills. Yes. Yes. Yes.
And that's what I hear you doing for people is loving them and seeing them. And then of course there are those really practical things you can do with them to help them on that journey. But that's the thing that opens the door, that helps them walk through the door as
Yes.
it's open, right?
Absolutely.
So I'm kind of wondering for you in that moment, because you were hoping, or maybe not even, I don't know if you really thought, maybe you did. It sounds like you did. You went to these teachers and coaches and gurus and whatever, and like secretly hoping, like, let me be authentic, like this thing that I want to do. Tell me that that's okay. And they're like, no, do this thing. This is the
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think it was that woke you up? What was going on there?
The first clue was my business like started drying up, right? So I was making money and I had clients who loved me. I had one-on-one clients. I was doing group stuff, all the things. And then in January of 2018 is when like everything just kind of started dropping off. My one-on-one clients weren't renewing. The group offerings weren't getting enrollments. Like it like literally just almost seemingly overnight. It just kind of, and I'm like, what's I hadn't changed anything operationally. I'm trying to figure out what in the world, what in the huh? You know, and so that was the first clue. And then just this, I got to the place where I was like, I'm just I'm I'm over trying to compete with everybody because I really, at first, I had bought into this whole thing of, oh, watch your competition and all that. Because I started thinking, like, I have no competition, right? Because I do what I do. Then it was like, but what do you do? Right? Well, I teach people how to speak, da da da. And it was like, but that's not what I do, really. Like all these kind of inner conversations that were happening where, like I would hear myself say a thing, but on the inside, it's like, but do you really? Again, the original intent of my business was speaking to me and calling me back home, if you will. Right. And so I just made the decision to just finally just listen. And then was had the courage, I had the clarity. So then I had to work into the courage to make the changes that needed to be made in myself and then in my business, because I believe that our businesses are simply extensions of who we be. Yeah.
Hmm.
All of those listening, I do know the King's English.
I love that phrase myself,
Yeah.
who I'm being, who I be, who
Mm-hmm.
we be.
Mm-hmm.
It points to the beingness, the quality of presence of actually being ourselves. It's not a doing.
Come. Yes.
Yes. So I heard it that way.
Good.
I
Thank
heard
you.
it the way you were transmitting it.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I've had a similar experience recently.
Mm-hmm.
I'll share it here and now because I think it's really important for people to hear that not only does it feel better when you're actually being your authentic self, doing what you actually want in your business, if you don't at some point, it will bite you in the ass.
Yes,
And when you
absolutely.
do, it opens things up for you in ways that, like things start to shut down if you're not following your
Yeah.
truth sometimes. It's kind of how it's one of the ways we know
Yeah.
something's just not right. And
Mm-hmm.
that happened to me, it started happening to me a few months ago, where I'm like, I love people like you, Ebony. I think they have a lot in common. I'm like, I freaking love people.
Yes.
I love being with people and just seeing how they think and how gorgeous their little minds are and how creative they are. And so I was having these beautiful conversations with people, and I had people saying to me, like, oh, Stephanie, you're great. I definitely want to work with you, but the timing's not right. And it just started like happening. And I'm like, wait a second. Something's off because everything feels right with me and these people, but like, what's going on? So I start looking at myself. And eventually, thanks to some very disruptive transformational events and things that were happening in my life, I saw that without realizing it, I was I was not doing what I really wanted to do. Like not really. Like
Yeah.
I and it was hard to spot because I loved all the things I was doing. I wasn't miserable.
Yeah.
And when I started the Awakened business, it was the thing in my heart, but I changed. I changed a lot.
Yeah.
And the heart of it, what I'm here about to do in the world, that really hasn't changed. It changes its form, but the
Yes.
form changed a lot. And I was like, it was like a jacket that didn't fit or something.
Mm-hmm.
At first, it was like, oh no, oh shit, now what? Right?
Uh-huh.
What am I gonna do? But it
Yep.
didn't take me that long to discover what it was because it had been calling to me.
Uh-huh.
Like it had been calling to me and showing me, and I just didn't see it clearly. And I was like, oh, that. Oh, you. Oh, Steph Dragonheart. That's it.
Yes.
Like this thing that had dropped in and I didn't know what that was for. And I'm like, that's just, it's really fun. I don't know what it is. It doesn't seem practical. Like that thing, Steph, that's it.
That's it.
And
You are
it's
people.
immediately there is a different response in my environment. Like really immediately. As soon as I started moving with it, it was moving in me. So I'm wondering if you can tell people, like on the other side, because there is, I don't know how long it takes in transition and, when people are deep in something they've created. For
Mm-hmm.
me, at least for me, the way I've made up my life and my business is pretty fast for me to pivot. And I'm like, I don't really care. I'm going to do what I want to do. And you're coming with me or get out of the way, right?
Yes.
But not everybody's in that position.
Right.
And But like what's on the other side of it? Like what's available now for you, like your experience and what you're seeing with your clients when they actually say yes to themselves and let go of the the mask version of what they were doing.
Man, freedom in a word. And I mean, like you have completely expressed that, embodied that, shown that just in your movement, just freedom, Steph, freedom. Because like right now, they don't have personal autonomy. They think they do. They present as if they do, but they really don't. Right? It's I got to do what I think works. And I think that's the test, especially
Mhm.
with entrepreneurs, right? Because, sometimes bills can speak pretty loudly. And if you have children, like they always got to eat for whatever reason, you know what I
Damn
mean?
kids, why do you
It's,
have to eat again?
you just had lunch. Goodness. Now you want dinner? Oh my goodness. You know what I mean? So all of these different competing thoughts, competing priorities, if you will. And oftentimes we go with the thing that's paying the bills. And that feels very responsible, you know. And yet it's also a golden cage, right? And so freedom, freedom. And when we step outside, when we dare step outside that cage, what I found is that the limitlessness of it
Hmm.
brings in so much more, that than what was on my radar. How What I will say is that at first, a life without limits scared me because, as a former educator, we walk in a straight line and there's a schedule, right? And when the bell rings, we do this and we do that, and routine, right? Freedom doesn't always have routine. And that can kind of feel wonky sometimes, like, and then yet I can pull out my coloring book in the middle of my day and say, I just want to breathe for a second. And I get my crayons sitting right here in my desk. I pull my crayons out, get my coloring book. Boom. I can woo-sah however I want to woo-sah. The average entrepreneur can't do that and not feel safe, right? And yet, in this layer of freedom outside that cage, I feel safe. I know I don't have to. If such and such doesn't sell, okay. If it does, great. If it doesn't, great. I'm still good. Because living inside of the freedom of authenticity, I can create whatever. I can be free to move about the cabin, understanding that I will always be taken care of. Always. It doesn't matter. I will always be taken care of. And therefore, everything attached to me will always be taken care of.
Hmm.
The average entrepreneur does not think that way.
Yeah.
They are at the center, at the core of all the things. And if they're not hustling, doing all the things, being an octopus, then in their own minds, nothing will happen. That's why your client who heard love was like, that won't sell. What? Healing with love? Who's going to buy that? There are so many people who would gladly buy that, but she doesn't know that because she's inside that golden cage.
Yeah. She was on to it. Even as she said it, she
Mhm.
was being honest with me. Like part of me's like, eh.
Yeah.
But but that was part of seeing like, yeah, this is true. This is
Yes.
true. This is what I'm actually here for. Like,
Yes.
yeah. So You just said something, Ebony, that I really love that allows you to, you said a bunch of things I really love that like you feel in this space, it sounded to me like you are the creator of your life. Your
Yes.
life. You're creating it. And so if something doesn't work, you can create something new. You can get out your crayons and draw a new adventure for yourself.
Yes.
And you do that with you can show up in that with the kind of radical authenticity that you want to have because you know you're okay to do that, because you
Yes.
know you're safe and taken care of.
Yes.
So, like, what is that to you? Because I know you're vibing with God.
Mhm.
So that's how like will you tell me a little bit about that? Because I think I want to hear more about it myself because I know that the more I know that I'm okay, it's like playing with the house's money. It's like, what
Mhm.
won't I dare?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter how much money I have in the bank. It doesn't matter if people say yes or no, if they don't like me, if it fails or succeeds, because I'm okay no matter what. I'm not, I don't have anything on it, and now I can play bigger and
Mhm.
freer.
Okay. Ask me the question.
So the question is basically, how do we get that? Because yes, I want that. I want to feel safe. I want to know I'm okay. How do I get that? Where does that come from?
Okay. So first of all, I will say this, I've not always had that. So to be clear, and because I'm honest, I can sit here and say I've not always had that. I was the hustler all the live long day. How that saying go? If it is to be, it begins with me. Like that.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I
Mm-hmm.
had a shirt that says "Sleep is for suckers."
Have you
It's
always worn your beliefs on your shirt, Ebony?
yes.
So at least you're being authentic in that.
Yes, yes, yes. I am a sucker for a good statement t-shirt, baby. Yes. Statement sweater, all the things. Absolutely. So I had to grow from performance into purpose. I had to grow to this place and still growing. Still because there are still moments, right? So the biggest thing is to recognize where you are aligned. First, give yourself credit. Again, us high achievers, we have a hard time with that. Entrepreneurs have a hard time with that, celebrating the little things, right? So, okay, like you just pointed out, I've always worn my beliefs right across my chest. Yeah, absolutely. Whether they were the wrong kind of, it doesn't matter. I'm consistent. I'm consistent in that, right? So I get to celebrate that. I get to celebrate where I'm aligned. And then to also be clear and understand there is this through line, this thread, even in that of misalignment. I'm believing a lie about life, about me, about the way the world works on some level. One thing that okay, gotta say this because it's coming up for me, and this may be somebody else's story too. I grew up being my first maybe 7, 8, 9 years being essentially raised by my great aunt and my great uncle because my mother was a hustler. She was putting herself through school. She worked 2, 3 jobs. It was rare that we got to engage. Like she did what she could do. And I honor that. At the same time, what I learned by precept and example is that hard work is what gets it done. And if you're not working hard, and if if you're not out here hustling, if you hadn't earned it, it's not real, right? So fast forward, that's how I'm engaging life. Like I gotta earn everything, and not just earn it, but earn it through hard work, by the sweat of my brow, by my achievements. So yes, I'm gonna be the one to make all A's, absolutely. I'm going to letter in all my stuff, absolutely. I'm going to live by a calendar and a schedule because everybody needing me makes me feel important. Absolutely. I'm the achiever. I had to recognize that all of those things were lies that I did not have to live inside of. What that ultimately looks like is scarcity. There's not enough, so I got to work hard for mine. One, I have two sons, and both of them, again, you just had lunch. Now you want dinner? What? You just ate both of them. And there was one day that I had just gone grocery shopping and I put a bunch of snacks in the pantry. And I said, listen, don't eat all this up in one day. Do not eat all of this up. Don't eat everything in one day. Right? Some to that effect. And my husband said, they can't eat all of it because Walmart has more. And he turns and walks off. And I was so offended. I was so vexed. It was like a mirror. It made me see you are living in scarcity, in a scarcity mindset. And so, fast forward, after I fought that for a minute, I decided, you know what? No, I don't have to live this way because Walmart does, in fact, have more. As a matter of fact, there are a bunch of stores that have more, they have plenty. And there are plenty of people, like everywhere I look, there's plenty. There's plenty of humans on the earth. There's plenty of foliage, trees when I look outside. Because I haven't dusted, there's plenty of dust and dog hair around my house. There's plenty. Everywhere I look, there is plenty. And so I get to engage in that plentifulness, right? It said in scripture, Matthew chapter 6, that God clothes the lilies, He takes care of the birds. How much more, right? As a human that was created in love, for love, by love, love Himself created me. Why would I not be taken care of? I didn't choose to be here. It's like my children. They didn't choose to be born. So I can't blame them for eating the snacks. Love brought us here. Love said, I want you here. I want you walking around. I want to play with you. I want to love on you. I want to take care of you. And I chose to believe that because I saw plenty around me in whatever way, shape. It didn't have to be money because I didn't always see plenty of money, but I saw plenty of other stuff, which lets me know that plenty is here. And so I get to have it. I get to engage with it. And that's that. I hope that made sense.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I was, I'm enraptured, Ebony.
Oh my
Enraptured.
goodness. I love that word.
It is a good word,
That's
right?
the
It's
word.
it's a you word. I feel that for you. I don't say that often. That's like, oh, that's an Ebony word.
Yes. Yes.
Because you spoke to all it took was just looking to what's already here, just noticing what's already happening, what we've already got on our side.
Mm-hmm.
Abundance and plenty,
Yes.
always.
Mm-hmm.
And just as the animals are cared for, just as the plants are cared for, even that much or more so are we cared for
Absolutely.
throughout all the ups and downs of this human life. And then,
Yes.
oh, I'm okay. I'm safe. I
Mm-hmm.
can be me. I
Mm-hmm.
can go for it. I can make these choices and take some risks and do what I actually want in life and
Yes.
unleash this joyful presence that that you be, that I be, that
Yes.
we be.
Come on, Steph. Yes. Ah, yes. Yes. Absolutely. Yes.
Oh, so good. I can't hear that enough times, honestly, because every time I do, it lights my soul up, and the little truth radar in me says, that is true.
Yeah.
Hello, wake
Yeah.
up, wake up, wake up, remember. And I do a little more every time. So thank
Good.
you.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yes. Yes. Oh, I just want to hug you. Oh my
Oh,
God.
we got the energy hugs here
Yes.
over the
Yes.
interwebs.
Oh,
So,
that's so right.
Ebony, I want to ask if people want to come into your world more deeply, find out what's going on with you, have a conversation with you, where's the best place they can go to do that?
So I have a guide. Okay. And so that is the best way to connect because it gives you the opportunity to sit at with this conversation and what it means for you. So it's a three-step guide, and it helps entrepreneurs, coaches to stop hiding behind what they've created and instead identify what they actually want. Okay, it's for when your ambition finally runs up against that disillusionment and you're like, you know what? No, right? And hopefully at this point you recognize that this is a safe space. I create safe spaces. And so it's a resource to help you to reclaim that internal clarity that I like to say has been outsourced to external validation.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I will share that link to the guide. It'll be in the description below this video if you're watching on YouTube. It'll be in the podcast description if you're listening, or on the blog post if you're there. So, thank
Yes.
you so much, Ebony. It's been my great pleasure to bask in the love with you.
Yes. The pleasure is all mine. I'm taking all of it. No, I can't because there's plenty. There's plenty. Thank you, Steph. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thanks so much for joining me for today's Wildspire conversation. If you'd like to receive a weekly Wildspire email from me filled with inspiring stories, unmarketing experiments, tips for playing your way to impact and income without the hustle and hype, insights from my spiritual business journey, and more, go to theawakenedbusiness.com/wildspire. Until next time, may you know yourself as the gorgeous wild creation you are.